hot July afternoon. How was it already time for the author event? I jumped to my feet. Sorry, I guess I lost track of time. I smoothed my wrinkled skirt and slid on my clogs, then turned to face the gold-framed mirror hanging above the desk. Strands of my hair frizzed out from my ponytail, the result of a habit of nervous twirling that I'd been trying unsuccessfully to break. I smoothed them down and fixed my short ponytail. My hair is a reddish-brown, with natural auburn highlights, which usually complements my skin tone. But after hours of staring at a blue screen, my face looked sallow and pale. I pinched my cheeks, hoping to bring back some life beneath my freckles. "I've got bad news, Annie. There's not a single person down there," Fletcher said, grimacing and propping the door open with his foot. "It's bleak." I sighed. What else is new? When Hal Christie offered me the job of bookseller and event coordinator at the Secret Bookcase 8 years ago, I jumped at it. I planned to tuck in with hundreds of detective novels, hide inside their musty yellowing pages, and try to put the tragedy of my past behind me. Which is basically what I'd done. I just never imagined that I'd still be here nearly a decade later. Not that I regretted a minute of my time in the sweet, small town I had come to love so dearly. Redwood Grove had become my home, with its sun-drenched California summers, towering eucalyptus and bay leaf trees, and curiously kind community of friends and neighbors who'd welcomed me with open arms. Lately, though, I'd wondered what I had to show for these years, and the answer I kept coming back to was not much. I was enthusiastic about author events, but even I had to admit they were dying a slow, painful death, bleeding out by 1,000 tiny paper cuts. I'd tried offering snacks and wine, special discounts, and bringing in as many big-name authors as possible, but had to face reality. A boutique Agatha Christie-inspired mystery bookshop in a small town way off the beaten path in Redwood Grove, California, wasn't exactly a draw. Readers had too many other distractions these days, and the days of big-budget book tours were over. And if Fletcher and I couldn't come up with fresh ideas to breathe some new life into the niche bookstores we both loved so dearly, our days were numbered. The thought made me ill. I felt a duty to Hal, too, who was more than a boss to his staff, and who had created this unique and lovely place. There had to be something, anything we could do to drum up more business. "Well, wish me luck," I said to Fletcher, dragging my teeth over my bottom lip and crossing my fingers. "Someone will certainly show up, right?" Fletcher rocked on his heels and pretended to study me with newfound interest before cracking a smile. "As Sherlock might say, 'Regrettably, my dear Annie, I'm afraid that conclusion is most erroneous.'" I know, don't remind me. I curled my bottom lip and brushed a smudge from my glasses. "I'll think of something. I'll pull people in from the street if I have to." I took the stairs 2 at a time. The floorboards creaked as I breezed past the gallery of framed vintage Christie book covers lining the wood-paneled walls. The Secret Bookcase needed an influx of customers. It was a shame that so few book lovers got to experience the bookstore's quirky charm. Hal had spent decades converting this old manor house into a mystery lover's paradise. The study was a quiet, isolated space with a fireplace and antique writing desk, typically commandeered by aspiring writers and college students who hung out for hours, sipping copious amounts of coffee and pounding away on their keyboards. Cozy books, assorted teas, and candles could be found in the sitting room, along with comfortable armchairs and floral wallpaper resembling Miss Marple's home in St. Mary Mead. Poirot fans were known to linger in the parlor, which captured the Art Deco atmosphere and the famed detective's meticulous eye for detail. There was the Mary Westmacott nook for romance readers, the Dig corner with a tent for children's books, and the library styled after a classic English library. My favorite spot was the terrace, an outdoor patio with lush potted flowers, sunny benches, and fresh air. You could spend hours meandering from room to room, getting lost amongst the stacks, discovering rare copies of books long out of print, barely scratching the surface of Hal's extensive collection of mysteries. I took the stairwell that would have originally been used by servants a century ago and burst out into the foyer. I sprinted past the cash register and raced to meet my author, who was waiting behind the podium in the conservatory, the space we reserved for events and signings, which had originally